Welcome to our next episode of Alexploring. I'm Alex, and I am here today exploring the Ohio State University campus, finding all the Ohio history markers here on campus. So we are here on West Campus to where we are at our first historical marker. So let's get to reading it. All right, so here we are at the Ohio Agricultural Experiment Station. The Ohio General Assembly established the Ohio Agriculture Experiment Station in 1882. From its inception until 1892, the station occupied 17 acres on the Columbus campus of The Ohio State University before relocating to 470 acres in Wayne County. In 1965, the station changed its name to the Ohio Agricultural Research and Development Center, OARDC, to more accurately reflect its missions and programs. In 1982, the center formally merged with The Ohio State University. Today, the center encompasses nearly 2,100 acres in Wayne County with 10 branches located across the state for a total of approximately 7,100 acres dedicated to agricultural research. So this was placed here in 2003, and it is numbered 7125. Let's head on to our next stop, where we will be getting closer to what you would call the main part of Ohio State's campus. All right, we are at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center here at Ohio State University, where we are going to find a Ohio historical marker about Woody Hayes. He was a coach here at Ohio State for football and is probably one of the most famous Ohio State affiliated persons. So let's take a look. Over his 28-year coaching career, Woody Hayes, 1913 and 1987, cemented the Ohio State University's tradition of football excellence while amassing one of the most impressive records in college football. Wayne Woodrow Hayes grew up in Newcomerstown and graduated from Denison University, which is in Granville, in 1935. After coaching 2 years at Denison and 3 at Miami, he began coaching at Ohio State in 1951. He led the Buckeyes to 205 wins, 13 Big Ten titles, and 5 national championships. Passionate and committed to victory, Hayes fielded highly disciplined teams, characterized by his trademark 3 yards and a cloud of dust, running offense and staunch defense. Off the field, he stressed academic achievement and taught history during the offseason. So that is historical marker 8425, placed in 2003. And it's the same on the back. So we're going to take a picture for prosperity. See the Buckeye trees in the background, commemorating Woody Hayes. All right, our next stop here is the Jesse Owens Memorial Stadium, which is the OSU track and field stadium. Here he is, the man himself, Jesse Owens. He's a 1936 Olympian. And we're going to walk down to this historical marker down the way to learn more about Jesse Owens. All right, so as we approach, this is historical marker number 6925, titled Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens, James Cleveland Owens, was born in Alabama in 1913 and moved with his family to Cleveland at age 9. An elementary school teacher recorded him named Jesse when he said JC. It became the name he used for the rest of his life. Owens' dash to the Olympics began with track and field records in junior high and high school. Owens chose the Ohio State University without scholarship, supporting himself by working many jobs, including one in the university libraries. The pinnacle of his sports career came at the 1936 Berlin Olympics, where he won 4 gold medals, frustrating Adolf Hitler's attempt to showcase Aryan superiority. After his return, Owens found work as a playground director in Cleveland, beginning his life work with underprivileged youth. Let's check the backside. Aha. Jesse Owens served as the personal representative of President Eisenhower at the 1956 Olympic Games, and in 1976, President Ford presented him with the Medal of Freedom, the highest honor the U.S. can bestow on a civilian. When Owens died in 1980, President Carter added his voice to tributes from around the world. Perhaps no athlete better symbolized the human struggle against tyranny, poverty, and racial bigotry. His personal triumphs as a world-class athlete and record holder were the prelude to a career devoted to helping others. His work with young athletes as an unofficial ambassador overseas and as a spokesman for freedom are a rich legacy to his fellow Americans. So there you got it. Jesse Owens, one of Ohio's greatest Olympians. All right, we are here now at the Nationwide and Ohio Farm Bureau 4-H Center, right across the street from the Schottenstein Center, not far away from where we just were at the Jesse Owens historical marker. But this one, numbered 11725, it's all about 4-H Center. Dedicated in 2008, the Nationwide and Ohio Farm Bureau 4-H Center is the first campus building for 4-H in the United States, and the first, quote, green building and leadership in energy and environmental design certified facility on the Ohio State University campus. At the time of construction, the building represented state-of-the-art green design, from use of energy conserving and recycled materials to extensive use of natural light. In addition to the lead contributions by Nationwide Insurance Foundation and Ohio Farm Bureau Federation, the 4-H Center was built with gifts from over 3,800 donors. This is about A.B. Graham and the 4-H movement. In 1902, Albert Belmont Graham, who lived 1868 to 1960, a school teacher and superintendent, established the Boys and Girls Agricultural Experiment Club in Springfield, Ohio. Graham believed in learning by doing, a concept at the core of 4-H, which stands for Head, Heart, Hands, and Health. In 1905, Graham became the first superintendent of agricultural extension at The Ohio State University, and he brought the idea of 4-H with him. 4-H is in all 50 states and over 70 countries, and more than 7 million members enroll annually. 1 in 6 Ohioans have been members of 4-H. So very cool. Let's head on to our next. All right, so we are here at Converse Hall, which is home of the Ohio State ROTC. And this is where we're going to find our next Ohio historical marker. This is about General Curtis E. LeMay. It's numbered 8225. The primary architect of American air power, Curtis Emerson LeMay, was born in Columbus in 1906. Attended public schools and graduated from the Ohio State University with a degree in civil engineering. He received his flight training through the Reserves Officers Training Corps and was commissioned as a second lieutenant in 1929. Before World War II, he pioneered air routes to Africa and England. During the war, he developed tactical and strategic doctrine used in bombing operations in Europe and South Pacific, often leading his forces in combat. He was promoted to general in 1944. In 1947, following the organization of the U.S. Air Force, LeMay was appointed commander of the U.S. Air Force in Europe, directing operations during the Berlin airlift at the dawn of the Cold War. Continue on the other side, however, it's a little out of reach. In 1948, General LeMay assumed command of Strategic Air Command, one of 3 new air commands responsible for conducting offensive combat operations worldwide. Through intensive training and discipline, he built SAC into the most powerful fighting force ever known. United States Air Force all-jet nuclear bomber force, supported by professional airmen, characterized America's Cold War posture during the 1950s with its global reach. An innovator as well as a tactician, LeMay introduced aerial refueling and laid the groundwork for an intercontinental ballistic missile force. He became the United States Air Force Vice Chief of Staff in 1957 and Chief of Staff in 1961. He retired in 1965, still rated as a command pilot. He died in 1990. General Curtis LeMay was inducted into the National Aviation Hall of Fame in 1972. This is at Converse Hall. Looks like they're doing some construction, but it's right next to this Brutus Buckeye here, who is decked out in military garb for the ROTC here. So we're going to walk to our next stop, and then we're going to head to another parking garage. That's where we parked on Lane Avenue. So let's get going. So we're walking to our next stop. You can see the ROTC hall over there. It's connected by a parking lot to St. John Arena, which is the former home of Ohio State's basketball teams. There used to be concerts there. Kiss played there. AC/DC played there. You know, a lot of big names Then across the street, where our next historical marker is going to be, it's right here at Ohio Stadium, home of the Ohio State Buckeyes football team. And it is one of the oldest stadiums, as well as one of the largest stadiums in the country, in the world. It holds over 100,000 fans on Saturdays here at Ohio State in Columbus. So we're going to learn more about it with the Ohio Historical Marker that is located right at the Rotunda. All right, we are at the Rotunda of Ohio Stadium. It's one of the original parts of the stadium that's still, outside of the outer shell. See the big stained glass pictures of, see, Eddie George and Archie Griffin, and it's completely ornate, built in the early half of the century. But here is the historical marker right here that was placed last fall. Ohio Stadium Centennial. The shoe turns 100. See, it broke ground in 1921. By the next year, they were hosting football games there. It held 63,000 people in 1922. It has gone through 4 expansions since then. It now holds 102,780 fans every Saturday. Ohio Stadium, built between August 1921 and October 1922, received immediate acclaim for its innovative architectural features. Its reinforced concrete construction, double-deck seating, and open-ended horseshoe design were so imaginative that Ohio architect Howard Dwight Smith was awarded an exhibition gold medal for, quote, excellence in public works by the American Institute of Architects. Dedicated at the October 21st, 1922 Ohio State-Michigan game, the new stadium boasted a seating capacity of 63,000, although temporary stands pushed that number above 72,000. Fans nicknamed the new stadium the Shoe, or the Horseshoe, in celebration of its unique shape. Over the ensuing century, renovations and additions added press boxes, elevators, address systems, scoreboards, lightings, and additional seating capacity while maintaining the basic structure of the original stadium. In 1974, Ohio Stadium was placed on the National Register of Historic Places. So there we are, Ohio Stadium. Quick fun fact, there used to be dorms in the stadium for the athletes. They were taken out, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that 2001 renovation of the stadium. Here you can see a picture, a nice big picture of opening day at Ohio Stadium in 1922. All right, let's head back to the car. We're gonna bop over to another parking garage. A few more Ohio historical markers from there. And then we're gonna go over by the Wexner Medical Center for an additional 2 Ohio historical markers. So let's get things rolling and head back to the car. we have made it to our next Ohio historical marker. This is off of 18th Avenue. Roy J. Plunkett, numbered 4825. You might be wondering what the red tape means. Here at Ohio State, they always cross out any of the M's for Michigan. They get left over. And yeah, they're all over this one. So do my best to read through the red strikes. But Roy J. Plunkett was born in New Carlisle, Ohio, and graduated from Newton Township High School in Pleasant Hill. He received his bachelor degree from Manchester College before enrolling as a graduate student in chemistry at The Ohio State University, receiving his PhD in 1936 under the direction of William Lloyd Evans in the McPherson Chemical Laboratory. On April 6, 1938, while employed by the DuPont Company, its paint company, to develop a non-toxic refrigerant, Plunkett discovered Teflon, one of the most important polymers of the 20th century. On that day, Dr. Plunkett opened a tank of gaseous tetrafluoroethylene, only to find that the gas was gone. Its molecules had combined with another polymerized to form a solid material. Teflon has been used on cookware, the outer skin of spacesuits, nose cones of space vehicles, bone replacement, and much more. It's very cool. Teflon, invented here at Ohio State. Check the back. It's the same thing. So let's take a picture for prosperity and move on to our next Ohio historical marker. All right, so we're approaching our next Ohio historical marker. Right here, numbered 7725, the William H. Seibert collection. Dr. Wilbur Henry Seibert, who lived from 1866 and 1861, organized one of the most historical, extensive collections on the Underground Railroad in the United States. Seibert served as a professor of history at The Ohio State University from 1893 to 1935. His collection on the Underground Railroad, housed in archives/library of the Ohio Historical Society in Columbus, contains diaries, books, letters, and newspaper accounts of the day, as well as reminiscence from the dwindling population of abolitionists and their families throughout the northern states. It also includes Seibert's own manuscripts, images, notes, and correspondence relating to his research. Seibert published The Underground Railroad from Slavery to Freedom, an enduring classic on the subject, as well as numerous other books on the Underground Railroad in Ohio and elsewhere. His extensive research earned him recognition as the world's foremost authority on the Underground Railroad. It's very cool. There's as much history in keeping it as there is in living it. So, very cool. We have two more until we jump parking garages. This is the Wilbur H. Seibert collection. All right, so we are here now at Mirror Lake, which is our next stop here on looking at our Ohio historical markers here at OSU. So there was actually a big renovation done where they've added all these walls and stuff. This patchy area here was actually part of Mirror Lake, and then someone died jumping into it Michigan week, so then they filled it in. So there's a pretty view across Mirror Lake. It takes us to our next Ohio historical marker, 525, placed in 1970. The Ohio State University. The Ohio Agricultural and Mechanical College grew out of the Cannon Act of March 22nd, 1870, but let it be started. I'm actually going to check and see the backside here. It's got nothing. So, let it be started. Governor Rutherford B. Hayes told the legislature in 1873 with the intentions of making it ultimately a grand state university. The little college opened September 17th, 1873, with a faculty of 7 and 24 students. One academic building, at first housed everything. The campus, remote from the city, was surrounded by some of the original forest. In May 1878, the name was changed to the Ohio State University. It was after 1900 before it really began to realize its educational potential, and its major growth occurred after World War II. By 1970, the centennial year, the university had more than met the hopes of its founders, a leading university with great manpower and fiscal resources. It had earned high standing in many fields, covering a wide range of educational and research activities. So there you are. We got a little visitor here. Seen these all over campus, but they are delivery robots. Look at that. All right, so we are headed to the final historical marker here on this side of campus, South Campus. We are going to have 2 over by the medical center, and then we will wrap it up. And it's been thought it might rain today, but it has seemed to hold off. So we've had a great journey here at Ohio State. Let's keep it going. We got 3 more left. All right, so I've been looking all around here, trying to find the Ohio historical marker that's supposed to be here, titled Old Ohio Union. However, I have yet to, I can't find it, although I have found a really cool obelisk over here. It all has to do with fraternity life and sorority life here at Ohio State University, but it looks just like an Egyptian obelisk here for Alpha Phi Alpha. But yeah, the Ohio historical marker is missing, so we're going to head on over to our next stop. We'll do some research to figure out where that historical marker is, maybe report it as missing so then they can update the marker info on remarkableohio.com, which is where you can find all the information about the Ohio Historical Marker Program online. So let's head on back. That's the new Ohio Union straight ahead. So it might be in there. Who knows? I want to continue on though. Let's go.
Second floor.
All right. Well, we're walking to our next Ohio historical markers. Don't be a dum-dum like me and end up walking 10 minutes to get to it. Because I parked at a distant parking garage. For some reason, I didn't look hard enough. But We're headed there. We're getting close. So, see you at the next marker. All right, we have made it finally to the ISKCON Krishna house. Placed in 2003, it is marker number 7025. In 1968, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, also known as ISKCON, established the first practicing Vedic temple in the state of Ohio. This building represents the building of a now growing population of Vaishnavas, worshippers of Vishnu or Krishna, in Ohio who have integrated into the mainstream daily life here without forsaking their own unique traditions. Daily worship ceremonies formally install deities, marriage ceremonies, final rites, and many other significant ceremonies related to Vedic culture are practiced at the temple. These ceremonies are prevailed over by authorized pujaris or priests. The ISKCON house upholds and represents those values sacred to Vedic culture: peacefulness, tolerance, equanimity, patience, truthfulness, honesty, austerity, and mercy. In this sacred place, there is no breaking of regulative principles of Dharma, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex outside of marriage. The exterior of the building is similar to the other historic homes on West 8th Avenue. However, inside there it's a gorgeous golden altar with the Arka Vigara, forms of Radha Krishna deities. There is a lifelike form of the founder Akira, teacher of spiritual science, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Danta Swami Prabhupada. There are full sets of religious texts available from ancient Shastra scriptures, translated from Sanskrit into English by Srila Prabhupada and his followers. There are also texts in other foreign languages. For over 30 years, the ISKCON House has been an open center of learning and education. The house is unique as it offers a training program for female monastics. Many students from the Ohio State University attend functions to fulfill class requirements, as well as those who are simply curious. All right, so we're going to head to King Avenue, where we're going to find our last Ohio historical marker here on and around the Ohio State University. All right, getting close to our final marker. It's near this walking path, right up here. It's along the Olentangy River, which goes right by Ohio State. You can see here the medical center's right there. You can see the Lincoln Tower over there. We're on the very south end of campus, and that is Battelle Laboratories there. And right here at the Central Ohio Greenways, the Olentangy Trail, we have the final historical marker for Ohio State University. It's about the first modern stream flow measurement in Ohio, number 5125. Streams are both a principal economic resource and a natural hazard in Ohio. Accurate and systematic stream flow records are crucial in protecting lives and property and ensuring an adequate water supply. At this site in 1892 and 1893, engineering students from the Ohio State University made the first stream flow measurements in Ohio with a current meter technology still in use at the beginning of the 21st century. The U.S. Geological Survey, an agency that cooperated with OSU in stream data collection until the early 1900s, furnished the current meters. So it's the same on this side. We got a nice little view of Medical Center with the Memorial and Lincoln Tower straight ahead. Ohio Stadium poking out right there. Then you can see on Tangi River here, people using the path. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode of Al Exploring here at Ohio State University. If you enjoyed my video, found it interesting, whatever, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, share this with your friend, maybe. And until next time, I am Alex, and we are off for a new adventure. See you next time.